brothers, welcome back to my channel. My name is Emma and it is time to do my September 2021 Wheel of TBR. It is currently August 24th when I'm filming this, but with that being said, let's go over the books I was supposed to read in August. For an LGBTQIA author, I chose the book All We Can Do Is Wait by Richard Lawson, which I did read. For a disability rep book, I read If You Knew Her by Emily Algar. I have not read this yet. Like I said, it is the 24th, so there's a chance that I might start it this month, but I'm not 100% sure, so I am going to take a red circle for the month with this one. For a book that is 10 plus years old, I was supposed to read Love, Rosie by Cecilia Ahern, and I did finish this book. And for a TBR vet, I was supposed to read Amy, Chelsea, Stacy, D, and I'm about right there, that far into it. I also, for my Rory Gilmore challenge red circle, was supposed to read Emma by Jane Austen. I accidentally downloaded Emma by Jane Austen in Italian on Audible, and for some reason my Audible would not let me return it, and I was too lazy to call and the month got away from me, so I am also going to take a red circle for Emma by Jane Austen. So those were the 5 books. I'm going to take 2 red circles this month, and yeah. So I have my bag of red circles, and the first red circle is going to be a book on my self-destruct list. So I believe that it's already been posted, but I did recently make a video of these books will self-destruct in a year, 13-ish months. I think it's actually the last video that went up, so I will link it up above. But if it lands on that, I will pick one of those books. If you guys have watched my channel before, you know that I do 5 spins, 4 for physicals and 1 for audiobooks. And the first spin, or the next spin, cannot land on the same triangle as the spin before. So the first spin can't land on self-destruct, but the second one can. If it happens, it will make sense. But here we go, spin number 1. Alright, spin number 1 got us an illustrated cover circle, so this one is pretty self-explanatory. Whatever book I choose to read for spin number 1 has to have an illustrated cover. Something you guys might not know about how I pick my books each month is that I do all the spins and then I pick the books. And I was desperately trying to get a thriller on this month. I just couldn't make it fit. So I ended up having to just choose a different book. So for illustrated cover, I chose Josh and Hazel's Guide to Not Dating. This book sounds so good to me, but one of my favorite reading people on the planet, I follow her Bookstagram, I talk to her pretty regularly. It's Kelsey from, oh my god, is it Pages and Flowers now? I don't know, she changed her name at one point, I can't remember which one it is. But I trust a lot of what Kelsey says, and she did not like this book. So I'm a little nervous that I'm not going to like it. But I also love Christina Lauren. This was in the running for a different prompt this month. Hazel Camille Branford knows she's a lot to handle, and frankly, most men aren't up to the challenge. If her army of pets and the thrill of the absurd doesn't send them running, her lack of filter means she'll say exactly the wrong thing in a delicate moment. Their loss, she's a good soul in search of honest fun. Josh Ime has known Hazel since college, where her zany playfulness proved completely incompatible with his mellow restraint. From the first night they met, when she gracelessly told him that she would be honored to give you sex tonight, to when she sent him an unintelligible email while in post-surgical haze, Josh has always thought of Hazel as more as a spectacle than a peer. But now, 10 years later, and after a cheating girlfriend has turned his life upside down, going out with Hazel is a breath of fresh air. Not that Josh and Hazel date, at least not each other, because setting each other up on progressively terrible double blind dates so they can hang out together means there's nothing between them, right? So it sounds good. It's kind of like a twist on enemies to lovers meets friends to lovers, which I'm here for, and we'll see how I feel about it. Alright, and since I am taking 2 red circles this month, let's draw the second red circle. And this one is a book that is out of my comfort zone. So this is any book that I deem out of my comfort zone. And again, cannot land on this green triangle. Ready? Spin number 2. Spin number 2 gave me a book by a favorite author. I have a lot of those. So basically any book that I choose has to be by an author that I love. Alright, so the wheel spun a book by a favorite author, so I went to my shelf and I pulled all the Taylor Jenkins Reid, all the Casey West, all the Christina Lauren, and I looked and I decided to go with Fame, Fate, and the First Kiss by Casey West. This is like a sequel companion novel to a book I read earlier this year by her, which was Love, Life, and the List. I believe it follows Lacey Barnes. I'm gonna read this to you. I like reading the summaries. I don't know. Anyways, Lacey Barnes has dreams of being an actress for as long as she can remember. So when she gets the opportunity to star in a movie alongside one of Hollywood's hottest actors, she doesn't hesitate to accept the part. But Lacey quickly learns that life in the spotlight isn't as picture perfect as she imagines. She's having trouble bonding with her co-stars. Her overbearing father has hired a wannabe choir boy, Donovan Lake, to tutor her, and somewhere along the way, she's lost her acting mojo. Just when it seems like things couldn't get any worse, it looks like someone on set is deliberately trying to sabotage her. As Lacey's world is spinning out of control, she feels like the only person she can count on, whether it's helping her to try to unravel the mystery of who is out to get her, or snapping her out of her acting funk, is Donovan. But what she doesn't count on is this straight-laced boy becoming another distraction. With her entire future riding on this movie, Lacey knows that she can't afford to get sidetracked by a crush. But for the first time in her life, Lacey wonders if it's true that the best stories really do happen when you go off script. I love everything by Casey West. And she's a quick read, so with one of the other prompts this month being a little harder, I decided to go for a quick, speedy read. I will probably read this in like 3 to 4 days. Alright, now that we have our 2 red circles up there, we're going to add our white circles on, and we have 3 more, or 2 more to draw. 3 more? I can't remember. We just got that last month. We just got that one last month. Let's choose a different one. Let's spread the love. Okay, apparently the wheel really wants to pick something LGBTQIA. So we are going to put that on. So this is just generally anything that is LGBTQIA. It can be the characters, the author, the plot, you know, anything. And spin number 3. A book with an ugly cover. Okay. I have to go upstairs and find a book with a cover that I deem ugly. So the wheel spun an ugly cover, and this was a really hard one for me because I think that I'm more of a judge a book by a cover shopper. I like pretty covers. So I struggled to pick a book that I deemed having an ugly cover, but I ended up choosing, I believe it's called Craven Manor. I don't know, it's gonna be my audio pick for the month. I don't remember what it's about. It's on my TBR. There's a reason it was on my TBR. I believe it's kind of like a haunted story, which in a couple of weeks you guys are gonna see my end of the year TBR tag that I filmed earlier, but it's gonna end up being later because I need to do 2 other videos. It doesn't matter. Why do I ramble so much? But it was, I like said that I wanted to get a little more paranormal hauntedness into my TBR, so I did choose to do that. It's not the prettiest cover, and I felt like this fit well with Books and Lala's theme for this month, which is like dark, and I think this is more of a vibe theme kind of feeling more than like the word being in the title, so I chose this as like my dark buzzword-a-thon book. And this time I made sure to download it in English. All right, spin number 4. All right, a book that is a sequel. All right, and this is spin number 4. A book that is on my self-destruct list. Wheel also chose my self-destruct circle. So if you guys watch my videos, if not, I will link it up above. I'll link it here instead of where I said I was gonna link it. I recently made a video where I chose 5 books that would self-destruct or I'd have to unhaul by September 30th, 2021. Or 2022, September 30th, 2022. And who would have guessed that circle comes up the exact next month. which brought me Top 10 by Katie Contamue. This is one of the books that was on there. If you guys watched some of my videos last year, you know I was not a fan of 99 Days or 9 Days and 9 Nights, but because I bought this book with it, I didn't want to unhaul it without reading it, but I figured if I didn't read it before now, I wouldn't read it at all. So, oh, and I can't soft DNF this book. Like some of those other ones, like I can soft DNF. If I think I want to go back to it, I can, but I cannot soft DNF this one. So let's read the back. Prickly, anxious Gabby would rather go to literally anything else than go to a party. Ultra popular Ryan is a hockey star who can get any girl he wants, and frequently does. But somehow their friendship just works. From dorky Monopoly nights to rowdy house parties to the top 10 list, they make about everything under the sun. Now on the night of high school graduation, everything is suddenly changing in their lives and their relationship. As they try to figure out what they mean to each other and where to go from here, they make a final top 10 list, this time counting down the top 10 moments of their friendship. So just reading this, I'm getting Love, Life, and the List vibes, which I loved that book earlier in the year. So I'm feeling a little more confident about it. I also love this like opposites attract, party boy, calm girl trope. That is one that I do normally enjoy. So maybe this won't be as bad as I'm scared it will be. Like with my 5-star predictions, I am planning to try to vlog while I read all my self-destruct books. So hopefully you guys will get a vlog sometime in late September, early October for this. It'll kind of be like maybe a bonus video for the week, but I'm gonna give it a try, see how I feel. We're gonna do our final replacement of this video. All right, a favorite trope. All right, and the final spin. A book that is out of my comfort zone was number 5. All right, so we did get one of the red circles for the month, and that is out of comfort zone. And I went on my shelf and I pulled all of my out of comfort zone books, and for some reason the book that was pulling at me the most was Ardian, I think is what it's called, by Jennifer Saint. This, from what I know, is like a Greek gods type story, which is really, really out of my comfort zone. I don't think I've ever read a book about Greek gods. I know next to nothing about Greek gods, so we will see how I feel. It is a book of the month pick. I just felt like I wasn't picking any of my book of the months, so I wanted to pick one of these months. I forget. Let's see, when is it from? It's the May 2021 book of the month, and I just felt like I had to pick something that month, I think. So I picked this, and we'll see how I feel. Okay, so these are the books I have to read for the month. I have Fame, Fate, and the First Kiss, Josh and Hazel's Guide to Not Dating, Top 10, and Ardian. I actually kind of tried to order this in the order that I think will be my favorite to my least favorite. All of these are like romance, contemporary, which that's my thing, that's my vibe. Whereas this is out of my comfort zone. I am, however, going to, like, I'm not necessarily going to read them in this order. I actually will probably try to get top 10 out of the way and then maybe randomize the rest of them. We'll see. We'll see. But yeah, these are the books that I have to read in September, or my goal is to read in September, I guess, along with Craven Manor, which will be my audio pick, as well as my Buzz Wordathon pick for the month. Comments down below. Let me know if you've read any of these books, or even let me know what you would have picked for these books. If you ever have any suggestions for good circles or bad circles, you can also always leave those down below. And I will see you in my next video. Bye, Worlders. And it is time, oh, I forgot the fan. Remember when this comes up, so I'm gonna have to rewind. All right. That wasn't the one we just put on, right? Ultra Pop. Oh, I gotta take my thumbnail. That's Ardian. I think that's what it is. That sounds right. Ardian?